Hey, onearvo. Hey, today is all about stairs. Well, it's really about the Tower of Babel, but stairs are a really cool thing. They're both really helpful, but they also can be harmful. Well, guys, today we're going to be looking at the Tower of Babel. How we can look at many ways to get to God, but really the Bible tells us there is one way. In fact, the Bible actually tells us in John 14:6, this really cool passage. And Jesus actually says this. He says this, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. Without me, no one can get to the Father." It's so good that you joined us. We have a new person in our team, which is really an older person. It's Tim Jones. He's going to be joining onearvo. We're so happy about that. And we're going to hear a memory verse from Sam about this very same verse in John. We're also going to be playing some games, having fun. We're so glad you joined us as we can grow closer to know who Jesus is and how to follow him best. Hope you have fun with us.
Hey onearvo, we're going to play a game where you have to unscramble 5 different words that'll pop up on the screen, because today we're going to be learning about a bunch of people who couldn't understand each other. Are you ready? Go! How'd you go? 5 out of 5? Nice. We're going to sing now, so let's do it.
Amazing grace, how can it be? The King of Kings is here with me. You're here with me. From the highest heights to the valley low, I know you're never gonna let me go. Every day you're with me every way. Every day you're with me. No matter what comes my way. of Kings is here with me. You're here with me. Walking through the combat zone. I know that I am not alone. Every day you're with me every way. Every day you're with me. No matter what comes my way, I know that you're here to stay. Every day you're with me. Every single day in every single way. Every single day you're with me just the same. Every day you're with me. Can't scare you away, can't tear you away. You said you would stay, you never go away. Every day you're with me. From the highest heights to the valley low. Every day you're with me. No matter what comes my way, I know that you're here to stay. Every day you're with me. Every day you're with me.
Hey guys, welcome to Storytime with Tim. I'm so excited to be reading this story with you guys today. We're going to be reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and we're going to hear a story about some people building a giant staircase. So let's open it up and see what God's Word has to say to us today. There we go. So last week we heard about Noah and his family and the big boat that they were on because they trusted God. So let's see what happens next. A giant staircase to heaven. Noah and his family lived in the land, and his children had children, and those children had more children, and then those children had even more. And well, you get the picture. Until there were lots of people on the earth once more. Now back then, everyone spoke exactly the same language. So you didn't need to learn Swahili or Japanese or anything, because you could say hello to anyone and they knew what you meant. One day, everyone was talking and they came up with an idea. Let's build ourselves a beautiful city to live in. It can be our home and we'll be safe forever and ever. Then they had another idea. And let's build a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. Oh, these are my favourite pages, these ones. Yes, they said. We'll say, look at us up here. And everyone will look up at us. And we'll look down on them. And then we'll know we are something. We'll be like God. We'll be famous and safe and happy, and everything will be all right. So they got to work. Brick by brick, the tower grew, higher and higher, until it soared above the city, touching the sky. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. It was like a giant staircase to heaven. Look, they cheered. We're the ones. See what we can do with our very own hands? They were quite pleased with themselves. But God wasn't pleased with them, and God could see what they were doing. They were trying to live without him. But God knew that wouldn't make them happy or safe or anything. If they kept on like this, they would only destroy themselves, and God loved them too much to let that happen. So he stopped their plans. One morning they went to work as usual, but everything was different. Their words were all new and funny. You see, God had given each person a completely different language. Suddenly, no one understood what anyone else was saying. Someone would say, "How do you do?" And the other person thought they said, "How ugly are you?" It wasn't funny. You could be saying something nice like, "Such a lovely morning," and get a punch in the nose because they thought you said, "Hush up, you're boring." You couldn't even say, "Pardon," to check if you'd heard them right, because no one understood that word either. It wasn't easy to work together after that, as you can only imagine. People were always quarrelling and fighting and getting in a dreadful muddle and becoming grumpier and grumpier, until at last they were all too cross to keep on building, and they just had to stop. After that, people scattered all over the world, which is how we ended up with so many different languages to this day. You see, God knew however high they reached, however hard they tried, people could never get back to heaven by themselves. People didn't need a staircase, they needed a rescuer, because the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase, it was a person. People could never reach up to heaven, so heaven would have to come down to them, and one day it would. Now that's the end of our story for today, and I wonder there when it says that the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase, it was a person. I wonder what you guys think about that, and if you might know who that person was. Thanks so much for coming to Storytime with Tim today. I hope that you have enjoyed this story and that you've learned some things from it. We'll see you next week.
Hi onearvo, let's get some background information before we jump into the story. The people of Babylon had grown numerous and wanted to make a tower. They kept this tower going and going and going, hoping to reach the heavens and God. God didn't like this idea, so he made them speak different languages. They couldn't understand each other, and they got frustrated, so they turned separate ways and gave up. John 14, verses 6. I am the way, the truth, and the life, Jesus answered. Without me, no one can go to the Father. Okay, now I want you to repeat after me. John 14, verses 6. Now your turn. Okay, great. Now my turn. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Your turn. Okay, great. My turn. Jesus answered, without me, no one can go to the Father. Your turn. Okay, great. Now, we're gonna do it together, okay? John 14, verses 6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus answered. Without me, there is no way to the Father. People tried building up to the heavens, but they failed, because the only way is through Jesus. That's the message from today's memory verse. Bye, onearvo. See you next week.
Hey, onearvo. Hey, it's the moment you've been waiting for, the wacky challenge. Now, today's story was all about the Tower of Babel, how man tried to build a tower to heaven to get to God. But we know only Jesus is the way in which we can get to him. So, for our wacky challenges this week, all you need is a water bottle. That water bottle is going to be our Tower of Babel, all right? But you're going to do a bottle flip. Really simple, but really hard. Record your entries and send it in. And I'm going to have a crack here before we work out which one of our leaders is going to be doing it on our board. Do you believe? Here we go. 3, 2. Wait. You know what? Why don't we just get our leaders and you guys to do it at home? Hey, let me show you who is on our spin the wheel / wacky warrior challenge for this week. Our new face is Tim, which is pretty cool. We've got Callum, Julie, we got myself, Emily, Daniel. Yes, indeed, that's onearvo. So there might be a challenge for everyone else to do, and no leader, and Sam. Let's see who's going to do the bottle flip challenge as we remember that God comes down to us. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Callum, it is your chance to do the Wacky Warrior Challenge. Bottle flips up, buddy. Go!
Now it's your turn. You guys have a go. Get your bottles and try to get 5 in a row. Send it in the fish.
Well, onearvo, that's the time. We're going to finish up our time together. Really hope it's been really helpful to know that Jesus is the way to get to God. Remember our memory verse? John chapter 14 verse 6, that Jesus says that he's the way, he's the truth, and he's the life. And no one comes to the Father except through him. The Tower of Babel is an amazing story. You might want to read it with your family at home. It's Genesis chapters 11, which is just a brilliant part of the Bible to think big about how good God is as we learn to follow him. Well, we'll see you next week. Bye. Alright kids, remember Sunday mornings. Parents would sign you out and you'd come down to the deck. You'd grab a couple of handfuls of morning tea while mum and dad aren't looking, and then you'd run either to the grassy area or the playground. And you'd catch up with your mates. You'd share and show and tell them all the things that they missed and remind each other that we are God's family at Norwest. And you laugh and you play. You know, our parents have been playing a game where they've been laughing and playing a lot as well. They've been playing Zoom. They love it. But for our kids and families, I thought that we could play a game, and it's going to be called Tag at Norwest. And we're going to play for 2 weeks. Just get mum or dad to take a video of you, and they'll send it to your mate's family at church. Include 3 things. The first thing is, say you're tagged. The second thing is, share something personal. Something that God is teaching you, maybe a prayer, maybe a memory verse, something that God is shifting your heart with at the moment. Whatever it is, make it personal. Even if it's a new trick or a skill, put it in here. Remember, we're building each other up as God's people at Norwest. The last thing is, make sure they tag someone else so we can share God's love like a ripple effect all the way through Norwest, reminding each other that we too are God's children. So, you ready to play? Well kids, the challenge is on for you. You have 2 weeks to tag as many people as you can. 10, 20, 30, however many. Encourage each other, see each other's faces, and remind each other that at Norwest, we are God's people who long for Jesus to be king of over every heart and every home. The way we're going to do this is via Tag at Norwest. You ready to play?